Hello, we are back. We are doing our daily reading, which is Mary Mantle's Consecration, and we're doing 46 stars. That's how many stars are on her beautiful mantle.
Here it is.
And today we have our star number 22, and it's the star of renunciation.
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 Who reads today?
It's you.
Okay.
So go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, that was all you wanted to say? I'm sorry because I
Yeah.
interrupted. Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, 22nd star, renunciation. Lord, help me to be stern with myself when self-love and sin stir up temptation. Help me to say no when my body yearns for that which harms it and my desires override your commandments. Help me to preserve my soul. Save me from myself when gluttony threatens to replace your indwelling spirit and addiction threatens to reduce my soul to a barren, moaning, grasping desert. Help me to say no when negativity and anxieties pursue me like a pack of hounds, when envy eats away at my joy and gossip burns my tongue. You have told me that I cannot serve both God and mammon, and yet I forge ahead, ignoring your word, believing I can do both. I am ensnared by your mammon's trap of false promises and artificial support. I am either too frugal or too extravagant, too worried about money or too relaxed. Help me to renounce the God of money and let my every purchase, my every payment, every drop of my income follow your will. When others speak unfavorably of me, preserve my heart from pride, sadness, indignation, or revenge. Close my mouth, calm my heart, and hold me tight as I allow my disordered self-love to bleed to death. Hide a lamp, O God, under my dark intentions and expose the lies I hide even from myself. Illuminate my mind with the stars of self-reflection. Tear down my ego, which now asks for empathy and later will demand a moment of satisfaction. Help me to go deaf when it cries out for a defense and begs me not to leave it ridiculed. It fools me in the name of reason and objectivity and tells me not to confuse humility with humiliation. Help me to renounce this endless stream of explanations, excuses, and justifications that out at me. Quiet them once and for all and encourage me to humbly and peacefully accept the truth. My ego calls out 100 reasons why I had to sin, but my spirit will never be able to give you one excuse. Wow, what a timely
That
and
was perfect.
powerful. I just don't understand. Tells me not to confuse humility with humiliation. I'm not sure I really understand that. So I'm going to I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that. But
Well, I guess to be humble, your it's it's a state of mind and a state of living to be humble in the humble state. But yet
true,
humiliation is not
true,
needed. You don't need to be humiliated to be humble,
true, true.
to be a
You are
humble
so
person,
right.
because we don't need to be
Thank
humiliated.
you.
God doesn't want that for us.
True, true. Thank you. Thank you. Because it kind of threw me a little bit. Everything else
Yeah.
I got, but that kind of threw me. But you just put it in perfect perspective.
Yes.
That makes total sense.
We can be patient, we can be humble, we can be merciful and forgiving, but we
Yes,
don't need to be humiliated at all the time. for being that, those things.
Yes.
Yes.
And I like how it says, help me be stern with myself, because,
Yes.
it requires
Courageous.
self-discipline. Yeah.
Yes.
Courage, you're right, and self-discipline
Yes.
to do what goes against what we feel like we want to say and do. And that's what's good about having friends and people who care about us that are willing to tell us the truth.
And I needed to hear that because the gluttony part,
Me
I so
too.
fight with that. Like
Me
today,
too.
today I went to a funeral of a very beloved
But
friend,
that's
and
different,
afterwards
Jeanette.
I
That's
needed chocolate
different.
cake. No, but that's
That's
being
different.
gluttony. That's gluttony. I needed that.
No, that was not gluttony in this case. No, it was not gluttony in this case. No.
Oh my gosh, I feel
What
bad
the
though.
thing with us is we look at food for comfort, and it takes time to get our body not to respond to that. And that's why I think Father John, in our hopefully I'll be getting those MP3s soon, and you'll be able to hear that that's why fasting helps our body to what do they call that, detox from the sugar,
Yes.
because they make our food, Jeanette, to do this to us. It's not all your fault. And you also have thyroid issues. So you don't need to beat yourself up. You just got to work on learning to fast. And it took me a long time to focus
So
on that.
hard for me. I gotta do it, but
But
it's
it's
really
not
hard
just
for me.
food that we have to fast from. We have to fast from bad behavior, like what they're talking about here. Like you said, like you've been really stressing lately about saying what some sometimes it's better not to say certain things, and that's my problem, is my gluttony of the mouth of getting my opinion out there. But a lot of times I feel like I'm trying to be helpful to others in what I've learned. You know what I mean? And I tell my kids, like, I sent these all to my kids. I sent them the playlist, my Rick. I said, everything I'm talking about, it's hoping that when you guys go through things and I'm not here, you'll be able to hear what I would think, and you'll be able to guess what I would think. Because I can guess what because my mom and I were very close emotionally, and I am with my kids, but we don't talk about all issues. So we are going over all issues. So this is something I hope my kids will. And that's why I hope that you speak up when you have something. Like, that was perfect advice, what you just said. So I hope that that's why sometimes I probe at you a little bit to get you to say something, because I know it's hard for you sometimes. But I like to hear your opinion, and I know you're careful because you're very careful not to offend people. Like, I told my daughter that when we did a taping, I couldn't remember or maybe I did tell her, but I know that she's like that, and I really admire that, because me, I'm like full bore ahead. I'm an Aries. Sorry to talk about astrology and a Catholic thing, but we just blah. We're very independent minded. We don't need anybody. We're very blah. So I work on that. So you help me with that, but I do still try to say things, and I hope that I can help you say things. So gluttony is not just in food. It is in our attitudes. It's in our
Yes.
buying things, and so this is a very good, very timely reading for both of us, at this time, for me, for gluttony of food too, because I'm working on that myself. I can't get past this certain plateau I'm at. No matter how much fasting, I fast for spiritual and physical things. They actually say fasting can help cancer, especially water fasting. But a Catholic fast, if people don't know, it is just one small meal a day, or so I think it's actually one small meal and two small snacks that don't add up to a meal. But what Jeanette and I learned, she told me about this book, Delay, Don't Deny. about intermittent fasting is the longer you give your body enough to autophage or autophage, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but this is why it helps cancer, is it goes in there and it collects all the, when our cells are done being used and they die, they kind of fall apart. And autophage will go in there and clean up. That's like our body's like bottom feeders, like if you have a like a saltwater tank or I don't know if it has to be saltwater, but those bottom feeders that go along and eat up. The roaches are the bottom feeders, even though they're filthy, but of earth. And so it autophage, from fasting, the longer hours you do, the more that it can clean up your body. And if you don't know this, if you work nights, it's really bad for your metabolism and it's really bad for your body. That's why a lot of night nurses get cancer. I'm going on and on because Jeanette is away. So, but this was a very good reading and very timely for all of us. We all needed to hear that. I think America, we are just a gluttonous. That's why I think a lot of people around the world don't like us, because people don't realize, but most countries don't have everything. I remember when we didn't have little things like they have at Walmart now. I remember everything was so expensive and everything's so cheap now because we started trading with China and all that. And, they get paid pennies on the dollar. But they get very little money, the workers. But anyway, I was going on and on. But anything else you want to add about today's reading that you feel could be helpful to someone?
It was a really good reading because it's virtues that we need to work on
Yes.
to have and to be the person that God wants us to be. To be like Jesus, to be holier, and like Mary, as we should
Holy
live an
habits.
example. Yes. So don't forget to do your rosary. If you guys missed the talk that I went to yesterday, I have recorded it live.
You're not open to public, so a lot of them I
Yes,
couldn't
I am.
share it.
I changed it to public.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll
Yeah, I
share it.
figured out. I didn't know how to do it, but I figured it out. So if you guys want to
You're
watch
very
it,
much, you're more tech savvy than you realize, Jeanette.
it's a beautiful talk on St. Paul II, St. John
Yes.
Paul, and how important
Two talks.
Mary was to
Yes.
him. Oh my goodness. And also there's a lot of examples on Mary and Fatima, Guadalupe, things I didn't know about Guadalupe. For example, this here is a moon. I thought it was
a
like
half
a
moon.
horn, but it's a moon because in the Aztec calendar, they have like the moon is very important and significant. I don't know why, but
and they don't like the snake.
They don't like, yeah. And so Christy, Sister Christy's the one that did the talk. She goes, I'm going to have to do a talk just on Guadalupe. It could last for a month. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I love that. So she just went on and on. And St. John Paul II, oh my goodness, his life was so amazing. I didn't know that he was best friends with Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I knew all of the stuff she said.
All these
I
little
knew
things
all of it.
that they told
My mom
us,
told me all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. But it was just so informative and so awesome. And it told us how important the rosary was. And it got me back on fire for the rosary.
Yes.
And that's what we need. We need to watch things like this, not because we already know it, but because it gets us excited again. And we need that more in our lives. So I didn't know, guys.
I didn't know about the Aztec not liking the snake and then the moon part. I didn't know that part. I thought it was a horn too. I thought it was a horn.
Yeah. Also, the little ribbon here on her shows them. It's called la cinta. And the women that have that ribbon, that color, I don't know, design or something, I have to read more about it. But that means that the woman is pregnant.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, la cinta. And to be encinta,
how do you spell that?
Spanish, C-I-N-T, A.
Okay.
C-I-N-T-A. To be encinta means to be pregnant.
Oh.
To be encinta. Esa mujer está encinta. That woman is pregnant. Or no,
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's not pregnant. The proper translation would be that woman is carrying,
oh.
and cinta, carrying,
Same thing though, really.
or expecting, but
Or
it's not the
expecting.
word pregnant,
Oh, gotcha,
because
gotcha.
the word pregnant in Spanish is embarazada.
Oh, okay.
Embarazada is pregnant, but encinta would be expecting or carrying.
Do your kids all know Spanish?
Yes,
Yay.
yes, yes.
You taught them
My
as they were growing up?
Yes, I made them take Spanish in school. I made them, but
Yeah, but did you teach them
my
when they were
boys won't
little?
speak it. My boys won't speak it or admit they know Spanish, but they do. They do, and if they have to, they know exactly what they're saying.
Now, did you teach them when they were babies?
Yes.
Because they say that's when it's easiest to learn when when they're little.
Yes,
Yeah,
but not so much. You know, we would speak Spanish in my household with my mother, my aunt, my
that's the
father. That's
most
all we
important.
spoke. So they were constantly around the Spanish, around
That's
the
what it
soap
is.
operas.
That's
They
what it
learned it from
is.
the soap operas, from
Yeah,
Corazón Salvaje, and all those other
yeah,
soap operas we
I
watched.
love it.
But when they started school and they were available to do Spanish, they had the electives. I said, Spanish, you got to have Spanish, or that's it. Okay, mom, no problem.
Did they get A's in Spanish?
Oh my gosh, Sabina was amazing in
Sabrina's brilliant.
Spanish. Oh my gosh, she got awards from
Oh
Spanish.
yeah, that doesn't
She
surprise
was
me.
she was a
I'm telling you,
honorable
your
student
daughter
in
is going
Spanish.
to be a director of nursing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mark
but
my
the other
words.
kids were good at Spanish. They weren't
Yeah.
like AP Spanish, but she was. She was a
I
way up
love
there.
your artist daughter though. She's funny. It's no
Gabriella,
wonder she
she's
married
something. Yeah,
yeah, it's no wonder she married a comedian because your husband
comedian. Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's funny. She's
Yes,
funny though.
Sean is great because Greg's so sarcastic and
The
funny.
two
He
of
always
them
makes
must
me
have a
laugh.
blast. They must have a blast
Yeah,
together, those two.
yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah,
They, yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
guys,
All right.
enough talk about us. Remember to say the rosary sometime today,
Yes.
or listen to it, or whatever you need to do, because that's part of our consecration to Mary.
Yes.
And that's it for today. Just remember, renunciation. That means to say no, right? Is that what basically it means, to say no, and to be courageous on what you need to do, to be
Yes.
strong in
Yes.
God's will in your life, to be strong and to be able to see it. That's hard to
Yes.
do.
Yes, to be able
Amen.
to see it. That's called insight. That's right, Jeanette.
Insight. Yes, yes.
Perfect.
So I love you guys. We'll see you
Bye.
in a little bit. We're going to do the reading.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.